everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hey, Tux. We have mostly dried out in the sky this morning. The ground, of course, is still wet. Goodness, we've got a large, noisy vehicle out there today. Be right back. Come here, guys. Come on. Over to the bricks we go. Oh, it's dirty in there. So the raccoons decided to drink inside the plastic bowl, huh? Alright, I'll take the muddy bowls inside and clean them up in there. So 0.45 inches since midnight and 1.84 yesterday, according to Tempest. So over 2 inches of rain here at the house in 24 hours. Here comes Stripe. Stripey! They were getting a little bit too far away on their morning walk. But Stripe's pretty good about coming back, and Marty follows Stripe. Marty won't come for nothing. He marches to the beat of his own drummer. Oh, look at that pretty clearing sky. Very nice, very nice. Come on, Stripe. Come on, bud. Oh, I was over here this morning and pulled, I don't know, 30 to 50 weeds. It doesn't look so bad from this end, but on the other end it looks pretty bad. That's all I can do is get out there and try to work a little bit each morning, walk with the kitties, try to get it back under control. It's as you know, it's an all year process. Here comes Marty. Good boys. Yeah, right, you know, where the camellia bush is, they go that far, I'm good. They keep on walking, I don't like it. So, even though I could have other people come and take care of them, Mama being here to make sure they stay in line is kind of important. After this morning time, they, you know, mostly sleep up at the house now. But in the morning, they get them a little walk in. So I had to drain all the cushions out back and wipe them down to get all of the flower, seed, pollen crap off of them, the junk off of the trees. Little red bits all over the place. Probably from like that maple right there. See the red bits? They mentioned a chance of a frost warning tonight, but the high is, or the low is 38 degrees. So I don't think I'm going to worry about it tonight. 38 is not normally a night when we have frost. I get it, there's a possibility. We'll have to monitor the temperatures at 11 p.m. because the frost isn't until early morning, of course. But yeah, it was a mess out back. The water bowls, the seat cushions, just kind of a mess. It's fixed now. Hey there, Greg. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. Hi. How's my pretty girl? Come here. How's my pretty girl? Yeah, you're a good girl. Good girl. So we just had an Amazon delivery. Yeah. And you were out there for a while. I was beginning to wonder what was going on.
Actually holding on. I had 4 packages.
And you were talking.
And I was talking. It's actually starting to get heavy.
So it was a Rivian van. Tell us the scoop.
Right, younger driver, a young man. He was very friendly guy. I asked him, how do you like it? He said, oh, he liked it. I said, actually, when I walked in, I said, so did you get your training? You must have got trained. He said, yeah, we had to go through it. They only let some of us, and he did get into it. But long story short, he liked it. He wasn't concerned about the cameras on it, where the other driver said she was concerned about the cameras. He liked
spying cameras, as in they're worried about being watched.
Right. He said he liked it because he just does his job, and there's no argument with who did what or whatever. And he also said he doesn't quite understand why people are so bent out of shape about it. It's just a camera watching him as he drives, and a camera in the cargo area. But all the Amazon already has a GPS camera thing in the windshield. All the Amazons have that. He says, so it's, even the Rivian has it. That system is already watching them. Does the speed, the braking, all these things that, how close he follows, all that's already there in all Amazon vans. So he says really no difference from that point. It's just the couple extra cameras helps him in case there's any questions about what he did, where he stopped and all that stuff. What he did, boom.
So if you're not doing anything wrong, again, the cameras aren't a big bother, right?
Right. Anyway, but the big thing he said is that they don't let him go down gravel roads, because if he gets stuck, it's the heaviest vehicle they've got. Amazon is concerned about it getting stuck, and if it gets stuck, it takes a special tow truck to come out and rescue the vehicle. He says the van has about 190 mile range, but Amazon caps it at 155. He doesn't know what happens if you go past 155. He said 2 miles. He's gone down to 2 miles.
Of the 155.
So he got back to the thing at 100. He was worried or concerned, but he made it no problem. But he still does not know, and nobody else knows what happens when you've got to go 160 miles.
Right. Well, I imagine they've drawn a line in the software on the range to make sure they never run out.
Right. Well, that's right. And that as we all know, that 190 miles is not going to see best case or worst case. It's some average case. So on a cold day, he might only get 170 miles.
Right.
And then the 155 covers that. But then in a nice warm spring day, he might get 190 miles. So the 155 is really on the low side. So, that they had to pick a number, and they picked 155.
Okay.
So anyway, he likes it. He also said, the backup is terrible. He said when they get into driveways at people's houses, they have a little bit of slope. When they back up, he didn't say what the slope was, but he said it on an incline. He said, like when they back into the street, it only goes 2 miles an hour. So picture this. You're backing into a street, and there's cars coming up and down the street, and you're only allowed to back at 2 miles per hour.
So you got the best cameras on a delivery vehicle in the industry to date, and you're limited to 2 mile an hour backing up because...
Well, it's back... Well, not... on flat ground, I guess it does a little bit better unless you cut the wheel. If you cut the wheel more than a certain degree, then it slows down to 2 miles an hour also, even going forward. So if you are in a tight situation and parking place and you cut the wheel and I'm going to haul ass out, I'm going forward, it won't go fast. You floor it. And
it's going to keep pedal confusion or slam it into walls or what?
He said it had to do with tipping. They're worried about it tipping. But I have no idea how you can tip with all those batteries in the bottom. I don't think you can.
I don't think you can tip that thing.
But I didn't argue. I let the young man talk.
Yeah, well, he's telling you what he's heard
or he's surmised. But so it will not accelerate if your wheel is turned more than certain directions. It will not floor it. I guess it doesn't want you to lose control. It may be the traction control. It's a form of traction control, right?
Sure.
If you're going straight, you can floor it all.
Well, that sounds a little extreme.
Right, but it also has to do say. So he said his biggest scare. He says backing onto 401. He said he's got houses on 401
sure.
that he has to back into, and he's crawling out on 401, which is a busy. This is the thing, Marianne. We talk about the 55 mile an hour chuck turn. Don't tell me about these little neighborhood streets where they're doing 45. Go out here on these places where they're doing 60, 65 miles an hour. There's not enough time. Well, now think about an Amazon van that he's backing onto 401, and it's backing at 2 miles an hour.
Yeah.
There's no. It's just he said.
Well, hopefully, since that has to be software determined,
Oh, yeah.
it could be, feedback, how it's working out in the field versus somebody's contrived how we're going to program it. They can make adjustments over time. It has nothing really to do with the van itself except for the rules of the software.
Right. Well, it has to do, all of the above. I guess what it's saying is it gets back to, Tesla used to hug the right side of the lane, right? It used to, or was it the center? Well, it used to hug one, but that's because if you probably look at the the causes of traffic accidents, people running off the road, the wheel dropping off the road, is probably causes more accidents than crossing over into the other lane. And what I'm trying to say is Amazon probably has delivery. They've analyzed all the accidents in all the regular vans, and they found out most of the accidents happen when people back up. They run over things. And, if you're doing 2 miles an hour and you're sitting there trying to stay awake because it's so damn slow, maybe you'll pay attention and not run over something. So I think that's why they're doing it. They've got data that says that most accidents happen when we're backing up. And so we're going to back up real slow.
Right, which just goes back to UPS isn't supposed to start off by backing up.
Yeah, they don't.
Although the recent driver in the last 6 months said you get a couple freebies, but if you go over the couple, then you're in trouble.
Right.
Because when they come up here, they always make sure they do all of the backing and they're ready to point down the driveway.
That's right.
The UPS guy parks his van like he's going to get called. He's a police officer and he's going to get called to an emergency and he needs to start off straight and go.
Right.
He parks like a police officer.
Right, but the one guy explained to me the reason they do that is that when you go forward, he's in his driver's seat, he can see the front, 100% of the front of the car, the vehicle.
Right.
But he can't see behind. So if you leave the vehicle to deliver your package, some little 2-year-old comes out in his tricycle behind the van. You may not have seen behind the van. And then you get in and back up, you're going to run over the person. Right.
Well, it's the same. Yeah, I totally get that. And I wasn't saying it was a bad thing. But the Amazon drivers don't do that. The FedEx driver typically doesn't do that either. No, it's only UPS that makes them go straight.
That's right. As far as I know, the only ones that take super care of
is UPS. Yeah. UPS. And it's the same number of turns in our driveway. But when you come up, all the cats scatter, and nobody's come out to greet you yet, all of that good stuff. But then when you're sitting there and you've been there for a few minutes, things can come around the vehicle that you might not have known. So I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just,
I agree.
Yeah, there's just been other companies with other rules about backing up, delivery companies in the past.
Yeah.
Well, that was nice. I guess every time it comes, we get a few more juicy tidbits. Yeah, the driver the other day was nice and letting us look inside, but maybe she didn't seem thrilled. So give it to the kids that think it's great.
Yeah, I think this guy.
If you give it to him,
if he would fix the backing up problem at 2 miles an hour, he'd be cool with it.
Yeah.
The range thing is worrisome, but not,
Well, everybody starting out driving electric worries about how that range thing's going to work. And then after they get N number of days or miles or drives underneath their belt, they quit worrying about it 99% of the time.
Right. And exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see what we got. Today's mission is to put together Lego Castle 41055. It's Disney. It's a Cinderella. I edited yesterday's video and Don is off his conference call. So we're going to go work out and then I'll pick back up on this when I get home. Luckily, I've just been futzing with it for a few minutes. Most of the bottom base plate is put together. This is one I have not put together before. This is a totally new one for me and it has some cool... I forget what this color blue is called. Light blue, bright blue. Anyway, it's got some interesting castle pieces. Pulling out on the high-low pulley machine. I can do twice as much weight with my right hand as I can with my left. But I'm sure that has to do with the surgery I had. And I'm working my way up as best I can.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Boy, doesn't that new shirt look good on you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Does it match my green eye?
Yeah, it does. Don does have green eyes. We went to South Park and back, and I recorded 1 or 2 things in the gym, but not the going over or the coming back.
Right.
You know, we're busy. It takes us an hour to go through our routine over there. But look at what I'm cooking you for dinner.
That's right. Amen.
Because ribeye roasts are on sale this week. It's not prime rib, but it's the next best thing to prime.
Plenty good.
It's plenty good.
I will not turn my nose up.
We'll have 1 piece left over, and tomorrow we'll have a lot of eggs with it.
Yeah.
Probably, or to Wednesday. We'll get 2 meals basically out of that piece of meat.
That's
but
right. Yum. Yeah.
Somebody's talking to me down there.
That's
anyway, yeah, you look nice. Thank you for
buying my shirt.
Yeah, you're all set. Well, green's good for you. That especially
I like green. Johnny and I both like green.
Yes, you do. Yep.
I like the green folding kind, you know, and put it in your wallet and stuff too.
Well, we all like that. Of course, I like it going out of the wallet.
Yeah, right. She likes the electronic.
I like it in the wallet, but you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Cinderella's castle is complete. The minifigures are not accurate to the set, but I do believe everything else is correct. Everything else is correct. The little chairs are so cute. The way they did the chair backs. It did come with the black kitty and the doggy. You can see the doggy's bone and house behind over there. So Cinderella has a dog and a swing set. And then, you know, there are some details on the back side. I guess you can't see it unless I turn it toward the light this time of day. This door does open. Maybe not really well left-handed, but it does open. There's a treasure chest in there. And, you know, there's a bed and a dressing area and a little bookshelf. And over here looks like a bathroom. The only thing I don't guess is here is a kitchen. They probably cook outside on a fire, right? An open pit. No kitchens.